Hey everyone, welcome to the UFO live stream. Before I begin, I actually would like to apologize to all of you. Today I was supposed to have Brad on, and about an hour ago he called and had to cancel because there were some other things he had going on. So I apologize to all of those people that are basically just kind of waiting to hopefully hear what Brad has to say. Excuse me one second. Had to clear my throat. I should have done that before the show started. But anyway, usually I don't have enough time as this, and now I had even less time to try to prepare something different for all of you. But I think I have something a little bit of lined up for all of you that if you stick around to watch it with me if you're interested. One is a video about an insider that's actually an older video that I personally cannot confirm. And please keep in mind, take that video with a grain of salt and for entertainment purposes only. Talking about moon bases and some other information that I think you find interesting, and of course some other UFO videos. Starting yesterday, I actually started a basically like a UFO Hub TV 24/7 stream. And so what I did is I signed up for an offsite server that basically hosts the videos and then just feeds them into a live stream for you, all of you to watch. And because I have a lot of content on the channel, and unless you really go down the years to rewatch something, which I'm pretty sure maybe some people don't, but it's actually very timeless. It's not time specific. It's information that even to this day is very relevant and can help you very much when it comes to this process of figuring out what in the world UFOs are about. So I thought maybe this 24/7 UFO Hub live stream would just basically then help expose more of the previous videos that were already filmed and shot. So I hope you take advantage of it. Plus, from the looks of it, I'm actually very happy that everything's going all right because I had to temporarily or just started out, maybe ran for about 2 hours the stream yesterday and had to cancel it because I wouldn't be able to have a show today or any time because I messed up something with the way the stream keys and all that other stuff. So I had to create two separate streams in order to still have this while the other live stream is going on. So anyway, that was just some, trial and error, I guess, but it seems to be working fine now. And again, so just wanted to let you know. So the other part, basically, I can still take questions whether you have them submitted in the chat room, or you can also call in over Telegram. There's a live voice chat going on right now on Telegram under the UFO Hub group. So in the description below, you should be able to find a link. Download Telegram on your computer or phone and join me. If not, that's all right. I hope you find the rest of the show entertaining enough. All right. I see there's some of you that are right here labeled. Welcome. Hey, baby, it's me. Welcome as well. And so I guess let's just get started. What I first want to start out with is a video from a supposed insider. I don't know exactly what kind of insider, so that right there is very vague. But he has some very interesting things to say about moon bases, these aliens, where they're from, and from whatever he quote unquote was briefed on. I don't know briefed by whom. So I apologize. I don't want this to be kind of if this is a major hoax or made up stuff, please don't blame me for it or saying, oh, UFO Hub is spreading misinformation. Just take this for entertainment purposes only. The way I listen to it, the way he's talking about, he's not wrong. So either it's truly a person that was briefed in government by some agency regarding this, or it's somebody who's already familiar with some of the UFO stuff, then basically just retelling it like a informant of some sorts. But anyway, I hope you just listen to it, and if in the future some of this information that they talk about you come across, hey, at least you heard it here. And if not, then it was at least something entertaining to watch. All right, so let me switch over to the browser, and then we can get started. And I'm just gonna basically switch over, hit play, and just shut up about it and let all of you listen and watch.
The date is June 29th, 2008, 6:32 p.m. I'm creating this message to let the people of the world, or whoever happens to hear this, know the truth about what is going on with regards to the alien presence in our world, as well as interstellar space and within our own solar system. I myself am a worker in one of the underground bases located near Groom Lake. I have done my work there for the past 8 years, and within the next coming months will be discharged. Now, what I'm going to tell you, you may want to take with a grain of salt, but I assure you, everything that I am about to say is truth, is fact. And whether you know it or believe it or not, everything that I will tell you is common knowledge within the Black Ops community at the most highest and secretive levels. Now, as I said, I've worked inside an underground base near Groom Lake for the past 8 years, and have done my work there as a researcher and analyst, working within the realm of the ET program, as we call it, or as it's known in the Black Ops community as G28. What we do here is research, analyze, and investigate the extraterrestrial presence within our solar system and other dimensions. And what I'm going to tell you today is the truth about what is going on. I will try not to be too vague in my revelations. However, I do not want to say too much, as I have already committed a felony in the eyes of our government just by speaking on the subject. And I will be leaving soon after my discharge. And I have asked the owner of this video, to which I'm sending, not to publicize this video for at least 2 years after its recording, to ensure my safety as well as theirs. Now, as I've said, and let me make this clear, the presence of alien beings and the technology does exist. It is real as you or me, and it's a whole lot more out there than even the most diehard believers could possibly fathom. The truth is that we, and by we I mean this planet and the people of this planet, are in essence blind to what is really going on in the cosmos and interstellar space. What people call aliens, we call IBs, or in layman's terms, interdimensional beings. And what we've found out and have known about since the early 70s is that, in simplest terms, other dimensions or planes, as we call them, exist and lay on top of each other, almost stacked, as if you had a blanket with another blanket stacked on top of it and another blanket stacked on top of it. To explain it so you can understand, you can imagine the Earth and our reality as a thin blanket, and all of these other higher dimensions are the blankets laying directly on top of ours. However, we can only see our own blanket. Now, the alien beings, or the ships that we have seen in videos, and that many people have captured over the years, are in fact what we call jumpers, in that they exist in their relative dimensions, but have in fact jumped into ours. We have discovered that most of the time we are unable to see them, as they are at a wavelength indifferent to our own, and our senses, eyes and ears, cannot detect. From the information that I have gathered and been briefed on, every planet, star, and galaxy within our own plane and universe, as we see it, exists also in these other dimensions. We've detected that we know of and that I've been briefed on at least 4 other dimensions that do exist. Now, as I said, every planet we know of, every galaxy does exist in these other dimensions. However, with each new dimension, each planet, galaxy, star takes on a different form. To explain it in the most simplest terms, you can look at our own planet, Jupiter, which is in the outer reaches of our solar system. Now, to us, it's a deadly gaseous planet, completely uninhabitable. However, when you look at Jupiter in an elevated dimension, you will see that it has completely changed in all forms. You will see that it's no longer a deadly ball of gas, but is now solid, has a different color, and is now inhabited. We know for a fact this is true due to the fact that the government has the technology to detect these higher dimensions and actually get a small view of what the solar system looks like on the other side, as we call it, in these other dimensions. There is much we do not know about the universe and how it works. However, here are the facts that I can confirm as truth and were made known to me, and that I and the other people that I worked with have been briefed on. Now, we are not alone in the universe. There are alien beings within our own dimension of space, as well as other dimensions. The planet Earth is an early stage, I guess you could say, training ground, if you will, whereby which we as beings will live until we advance to the higher dimensions. Now, we are not the bottom of the food chain, and we have discovered that there are at least 2 dimensions below our own plane. But that is as far as I will go regarding that. Now, I'm getting a little bit low on time, so I will leave you with a few other important things that people will no doubt want to know about later in time once this video is made public. Now, these are things that I have been briefed on by my superiors and that are common knowledge in the Black Ops community. Now, the planet that we know of as Mars was at one time inhabited, but again, at one time was wiped out by the people who inhabited the planet, which were much more technologically advanced than we are, which we discovered by testing and analyzing the chemical residue found from the blasts around the planet, as well as artifacts that we've also discovered on the planet, including the infamous glass tubes seen in the few of the publicly made photographs from NASA. Now, these are not glass structures, but a glass-like material that is about 1,000 times stronger than any material or steel that we have on our own planet. These tubes were used as a means of travel underground and above ground by the people who inhabited this planet. It is thought from our research that there are still an ET presence inhabiting Mars, but again, this is as far as I will go, and that I was briefed on regarding that matter. Now, I'm not trying to be completely vague, but I am trying to give you a picture of what is going on out there that doesn't completely put me in more danger than I am already in just by revealing the few things that I have. One of the last things that I will reveal, and that is definitely a fact, and that I have been briefed on, and that many other people involved with the Black Ops community have been briefed on, and that is our own moon, which does in fact have alien bases on it, and also has bases from our own government. Now, there is an ET presence, which is primarily located on the dark side of the moon. The Apollo program was in all actuality a reconnaissance mission, so that we could research what was exactly there and who. You will notice that many of the photos from the Apollo missions have airbrushed out buildings and bases, and this is the truth of the matter. About half of the video that you will see that is documented from the Apollo missions was in fact shot here on Earth at Area 51. In fact, if you look at satellite imagery, you can actually see what's left of a crater field created at Area 51 that was used in the filming. Now, the truth is that most of the footage from the moon was simply cluttered with bases, with alien buildings, and from what one astronaut said, and I'm quoting, what were a constant presence of alien vehicles flying over the surface, cluttering up the footage. So again, they showed the American people what they could and recreated the rest here on Earth that they couldn't show. From what we know, the dark side of the moon is where most of the alien presence is located. It's a more primitive alien race from what we can see, and our research tells us. It's more primitive than the alien beings you would see on higher dimensions, but still thousands, if not millions of years ahead of us. Now we have our own bases, which are primarily located in or near the Sea of Tranquility, which is the site of Apollo 11, and also one base that I know of located near the crater Sabine D. To this day, we are still sending secret missions to and from the moon. However, I do not know the complete details of what we are doing there.
All right. Well, there you have it. So what are your thoughts about this? Submit your question or a statement. If you're in the chat right now, please include 3 asterisks and make your statement or question. And so that way I know it's meant for me and not just a regular chatter. But yeah, I don't know. Did you hear about moon bases before? Did you read a book about this? Are you familiar with that? What are your thoughts? I actually would like to hear that too, because everyone is on a different level of research and just of understanding of what's going on. So just especially since in the spirit of this being open lines, I would like to hear from you. So while you are hopefully submitting some of your statements or questions, I would like to continue with some interesting videos. So this one is from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and it's apparently a UFO. There's no sound to it, but it's one that they've been following and tracking. And at one point, it's about three, close to 4 minutes long. But at one point, as they keep tracking it and it gets over water, it appears to be splitting before I want to say one of them goes down into the water and the other one flies off the other way, but I don't want to, speak too soon. I can't exactly remember what it was that it did, but yeah, it just seems to be this orb size or just like this ball. I don't know how big, but seems pretty small to be basically flying around, and they're just tracking it with whatever video equipment they have. Let's see if I can skip forward and get to the water section. So it's still over land. Okay, so apparently now it's in the water or above the water. I can't tell because the video is kind of black and white, so I can't tell if it's submerged and then coming back up or what. Let's see if there's a replay, or if this video is going to show more details. Okay, let's go back. I'm sorry if I'm confusing all of you while you're watching, because I'm just kind of skipping back and forth. So apparently right there is where it kind of splits into 2. And the video just kind of concludes. There's no sound. But anyway, it's interesting. It sucks that there's obviously it's always not enough information to know exactly what in the world it is, but interesting to look at. The next video is actually the next set of pictures It's a lengthy text. I'll read it a little bit. It's by Open-Minded Approach, and I guess they've been kind of following what's going on in Mexico and what's exactly been happening. So I'll read that and show you some of the pictures here. He says, so the new tests have shown more anomalous results. I'm still disappointed by the majority of the UFO Twitter activists for dismissing the bodies without demanding more proof. The Peruvian government, which had the bodies for years and never did anything with them, claimed that they were made from, no idea what this word is, Iamas? Llamas? Okay, sorry. The way the font is, it's hard to make out what letter it is. That were made from llamas, which clearly they were not. They claimed it was a hoax and had no value, and now they are demanding a criminal investigation into how the bodies left the country. Why bother investigating a hoax? He goes on to say, and for those saying they must be aliens, that's not necessarily true. They could be cryptoterrestrials. The ant people that Hopi tribe was talking about, the Dundi, or however that's pronounced, people from South America, or they could be an interdimensional vessel created as an avatar to interact in our dimension. Or they could be a hoax or something ancient, or some ancient art project. But we need to demand further investigation. A note to those who are in charge of the bodies: don't let them out of your sight. Be present for all examinations, especially with facilities connected to the government. So anyway, this goes on to finish up with another paragraph, but this is basically, it's pictures that, and I'm describing it for those that are listening only, it's pictures of what was shown in Mexico recently, and then pictures of similar bodies apparently found in Siberia, Russia in 2011. And unless they're doctored, and if they can be taken on face value, they do look very similar to what was just recently released. The other one seems more, the one in Russia seems more organic, I guess, and of course the stuff that was talked about just recently in Mexico, I guess they're obviously more petrified. So again, that's just some more latest stuff. I still hope that they actually come out with more people that are researchers, or I should say doctors, that can actually examine this more to just get to the bottom of it. Because, I mean, if it's a hoax, great. If it's not, okay, it's like we need to basically know, instead of just constantly having too many unknowns. So this is also in a town in Russia, and it's a UFO that basically hovered for however long, but this is only a minute 35 video, and it looks like there's a cone of some kind of gas on top, so a source with cone, spreading out. And anyway, I'll just hit play and see. There might be some people speaking Russian in the background. So it just seems to be hovering there. I can't figure out if it seems to be recording directly and it's not a reflection of some kind, because sometimes if people are recording from their homes, there's the glass of the window that reflects certain things in some ways, and it can look a little bit deceiving. But yeah, so there's a triangular shape on the bottom, and then this cone, like gaseous, whatever it is, that's whatever is being released is on top of that. And then as the video goes on, it just slowly disappears. Now the spiral of it reminds me of specifically how some of the rockets, when they test them, Tesla, I think, did that not that long ago, and it leaves this weird spiral. But never mind that, then what is that red thing underneath in this video? That's why I don't know if this is a reflection of some kind or what. So but hey, it's at least interesting to see. All right, this next one, I don't know. I've seen this one before. I don't know if this is supposed to be a prop of some sorts, and there's a person speaking, but they basically say that there's basically having transport of some sorts with police, or at least those guiding trucks that kind of drive ahead to make sure traffic's clear, and it has some very interesting cargo. So let's see.
Closed and cleared this entire area, and then shortly after, this came through. Watch till the end.
It's fine.
So the first vehicle drove by, and pretty soon now the truck is going to come by. And it looks very much like a UFO, the way we would expect a UFO to be, with
Closed
some
and cleared this entire area, and then
with
shortly
some
after,
trailing
this came
vehicles
through.
behind. So I don't know if this is a set of some sorts, or from a set, or some kind of installation that would be put somewhere like maybe Roswell or something, because I know a lot of those different places, they create a lot of just UFO related type things just for the different tourist attractions and whatnot. So anyway, this I've
Watch
seen
till the
this
end.
before. If I can stop clicking on stuff, I've seen this before, but I again, I don't know if it's if there was actually something that was going to be installed somewhere and it's just a prop, or something more real. Again, if you have more information or you want to share, please write, or simply call in on Telegram. Oh my goodness. All right, here we go. So this last one is actually very interesting. It's about 2 minutes and 22 seconds, and it's this, just the regular footage, however, whatever was used to record, whether a cell phone or whatnot, or a camera, but then it gets stabilized. And so the way it's zooming in and out, I found videos that are fake, has a very specific zoom, has a very on the spot zoom in and clear, smooth. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Smooth zoom in right to the subject that's being filmed. Whereas in regular cameras, they just kind of jump to it if you're zooming or using the digital zoom. And so it's a very interesting, basically UFO. It looks like a half shell that might have some windows up front, but I'll play it here in a second and see what you think. Yeah, it's just kind of hovering and very slowly spinning on its axis. At least that's what it seems like it's doing. So here it is, stabilized. It's a very odd shape. Definitely odd shape. I don't know if it's maybe some sort of balloon that basically has some reflections that's doing its thing, but it almost looks like a vessel for a single passenger, and like there is glass in the front, basically like a cockpit. Yeah, very interesting. Anyway, so that's that. I hope you enjoyed them. So anyway, if some of you, if you have some questions or statements, please make them. Please make sure you have the 3 asterisks for me. Otherwise, that's all I have for today. I didn't, for those who might not have caught the beginning of what I was saying, but Brad unfortunately had to cancel for today. So I quickly kind of tried to put some stuff together for all of you for open lines. And, but yeah, what are your thoughts on some of the bases? I know I've read some books, and there's one particular book oh goodness, what's his name? He's a very famous remote viewer. Ingo Swan. Okay, took me a second, but he has written a book that last time I looked, and I could have just come across this particular post. Maybe they're not that expensive, but the book alone was going for $300. And I was like, I would love to read what he wrote, but maybe not that much. So anyway, he kind of talked about all these other things like remote viewed moon bases and Mars and all these other things. And the remote viewers generally have always kind of touched upon those subjects and kind of if the information from all these people that are disclosing that are working for government, and like this video and audio we listened earlier or at the very beginning, if that's to be believed, then a lot of the remote viewing information and what they're saying, I've seen before. They correlate, basically to kind of support each other about, yes, they've seen moon bases, Mars bases, and then of course the testimonies. And so I don't know it. I didn't look at whatever sources I had at that time, whether or not these people that if they are, not basically government workers that are just finally putting it all out there, and there's somebody that's just really into UFOs, then there's a possibility they could have read whatever they read from the remote viewers and then made it out to be like information that they got disclosed from different government meetings. All right, so I don't see any other questions. I see from Stan Darsh says, I dig the 24/7. I can put your old stuff on and just listen to it while I sleep. Well, I saw that while we were watching or while the other video was playing. That made me smile. So thanks for your support. I hope you find it useful. And I will work on getting just basically just to make sure that it keeps running. The servers that I sign up for, they're supposed to keep on running 24/7 all year round, and there shouldn't be any stops. So we'll see. It literally just started yesterday, and I'm hoping that it'll just keep on doing its thing. Gigi says, it looks like a leftover Tim Burton movie prop. Yeah, especially like one of I have many favorite movies, but one of my favorite movies is Mars Attacks. And my wife, she doesn't understand why I could just always watch that movie, but it's so silly and stupid that with all the stuff that I constantly have to like use my brain a lot for, it's just kind of nice to just kind of chill and just watch things like that. So among UFO movies, that's one of my favorite. Of course, Independence Day, Contact, and many others that I just love to watch all the time. But yeah, you're right. It almost does look like a Tim Burton prop. I don't know if you know that for sure, whether or not it is, but it was interesting. Well, like we did when it comes to all kinds of stuff, I've seen some things that are being transported and they put some tarp over it. And when you look at it, they're like, do they think people are not going to figure out what the shape is that they're covering? Because the tarp, it's not like it's loosely hanging and just covering up. So you can't tell exactly what it is or what the shape of it is. It's like this, fitting tarp almost. It's like, so what's the point? It's like, yeah, maybe to cover it and protect it from the elements, but if you don't want anyone else to see, it didn't work. All right. Well, I hope then you all are having a good rest of the day. I don't see any other questions or statements coming in. So thank you again for joining me, even though this is kind of last minute. Again, I apologize for the canceled interview, but next week I have another person that I hope they don't cancel on me. Everything seems to be going all right and scheduled. So on Wednesday at 7 p.m., we should be live with the new guest. And then, of course, check out the UFO Hub TV 24/7 as well. It's a stream that's also running simultaneously to this one. All right. Well, thanks again. Have a good evening and take care.